I think the big thing as people grow and as 2026 continues in AI and automation is automation scales communication, merch scales member. Because people love that physical touch point. The digital is to bring them in, the merch is to keep them.
Welcome to Beyond the Swag. Merch is Media, the podcast where we go beyond logos, giveaways, and leftover budgets and talk about how branded merchandise actually functions as marketing, media, and brand experience. On this show, we sit down with founders, operators, and brand leaders to unpack the real decisions behind the brands you see. What works, what doesn't, and how the details people overlook often make the biggest impact. I'm your host, Kevin Patrick. This is Beyond the Swag.
Welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Swag podcast. I'm joined today by Mathieu from Parkour 3 in Canada. Matt, thanks for joining the show.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about Parkour 3 and you know what you guys do.
Yeah, I'm the founder of Parkour 3. We're a digital marketing and HubSpot partner agency based in Canada. What just you already said, but we started the company in early 24 years ago, and so we are involved alongside the digital landscape ever since. So today we're specialized in helping B2B business to increase the value of marketing automation and the HubSpot CRM platform with the operations services teams and the sales, marketing and services and operation teams too. So we are elite partners of since the 1 month ago, which is the highest level of partnership with HubSpot. So we're one of the bigger HubSpot partner, Canadian home
Nice.
in Canada. Yeah.
God bless you guys. I remember having a demo with that, and I'm like, I was like looking at it, I'm like, oh, man, like, I hate having people set things up for me. I like to be able to do it and like figure it out. And I remember a friend of mine, she just got into HubSpot from what she was using prior. And I was like, yeah, I can help you. And I got in there, I'm like, yeah, no, sorry. So yeah, I don't want to touch this thing.
It's pretty user friendly. You can probably help her. I'm pretty sure. It's a good platform for that. It's easy to but they have a lot of features, so it's not easy to understand everything.
It can be overwhelming quickly.
Yeah.
So you obviously live in a world with automation and HubSpot, obviously AI and scalable systems. The first question I have for you is, you've been doing this for a little while now. In 2026. What separates companies that grow from companies that stall?
My God, it's a huge question.
It's a big opening question. I'm putting you right on the spot.
And probably that's the thing with AI and all that. That's move very fast. So I think business need to move fast too. So they have to transfer. That's sure, but they need to understand and to be able to learn very fast, and so they don't have to stop, and they have a change management. It's more easy for small business to transfer very more faster than biggest company. So I think it's the ability to learn fast. I think it's that.
Yeah. And it's funny, I'm part of a promotional products group on Facebook, and I put out a thing about AI and automation. I swear we're one of the industries that are going to be the last to adopt AI and automation. I don't know why, but like everything we have is like from like the 80s, and I wasn't even born back then, so I don't even know what the 80s were like. I'm just guessing. But somebody was like, I don't adapt AI. She goes, people don't like AI, and everybody hates AI and all this other stuff. She's like, I will never put AI into my company. And I responded back, I was like, I feel bad for you. You're going to fall behind. You're going to fall behind. I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. There's right and there's wrong ways to use AI, right? I think people that deal with it, and everybody's starting to figure that out. There's right ways and there's wrong ways. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And she's like, I'm not falling behind. I just value my principles and standing on my business principles. And I'm like, now I really feel bad for you, because automation and AI they're not replacing a lot. Like they're replacing a lot, but they're replacing a lot of like the manual BS tasks that are taking people longer than it should to do. And yeah, I was texting a friend of mine. I'm like, I sent a screenshot. I'm like, I was like sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, everybody's investing in AI.
Maybe they are not behind yet, but they will be. You know,
They will be.
will have a problem in 1 or 2 years because company they need to adapt AI it's not just about automation, but it's about leverage and scaling a business because we will have a problem if we don't integrate AI tools, AI agent and all that because without adding any other resources, other business will scale without hires anybody.
Yeah. And I said in my comment, every business is using AI. And it was kind of like I shot myself in the foot there a little bit, and somebody commented and was like, well, that's a lie, and it makes me wonder if you're actually selling promotional products or if you're selling AI. And I'm like, all right, God, you can and I shot myself in the foot by saying that. But with the power of AI, and obviously it's growing, and the automation is growing more and more on a rapid pace.
Mm-hmm.
As marketing becomes more automated and AI driven, to where everybody kind of has their hands on it, where does human connection still matter the most?
I think it's very important because people will automate a lot of things, but they cannot automate, conversation with a real human. So and how the creativity from the human will, I think that will be the most important thing because if we work a lot with robots and bots and all that, we want, to have real conversation and real will be more important than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The human connection, I don't think it's never going away. AI will replace, will there be robots eventually building roofs? Probably. We got cars that drive themselves now.
Mm-hmm.
I think but that human connection is always still there.
Yeah.
Do you think, can physical touch points, promotional products, swag, merchandise, play a role inside automated funnels?
I think because that's probably more important than ever because the leverage a brand and to reinforce the understanding of what is the brand behind all that and behind the automation, and I think it's important to have something in real thing.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to that human connection, and I was saying this to somebody the other day where it's very easy, right? I can add 100,000 people to an email sequence and start a drip campaign and set it and forget it. And obviously it's easier to scale that way. But the chances are I'm not buying a quality promotional product and sending it to 100,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually send that physical touch point, that physical product to somebody, it shows that I went kind of above and beyond for them because it's very easy to do the basic standard that everybody's doing. Right? It's so easy to send 100,000 emails. Not everybody's sending 100,000 pieces of promo product because it's more expensive. It carries that
it's a commitment and it's more it's more expensive. It's more they prove that's they can invest if you send that to some prospect, but if you send stuff to customers, I think it's a good way to doing business right now. It's not we don't need to forget the merch. We are overwhelmed with we have a lot of digital distraction, so I think we will remember if we receive something by mail or something. Someone will give us something in
Yeah, so I mean, with that in the sales funnel, where in the sales funnel do you think that physical marketing could have the biggest impact? Because, like you said, I mean, we're living in such this digital saturated world.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, the amount of emails that I get, the amount of text messages that I get, besides the hey, we want to give you funding. that I get 45 of them a day from these financial firms. But besides those, like it's such a saturated market from digital, and you're in the digital space, and I was in it for a little bit. You kind of have to outspend your competition to an extent, right?
Yeah.
And so where does that physical marketing play for you? Because I know you guys said you kind of use it for a lot of just like events and stuff, like kind of periodically.
Yeah,
So I'm
we
curious,
use,
from your standpoint.
yeah, for Parkour 3, we use it in trade show. And sometimes we organize, events, local events, and for customers, and maybe we can share some merch at this events. But the majority of the time, we use it when we participate to trade show, and we do 4 or 5 trade show per year. So we need stuff. We have some stuff like this one. So we have some merch, but I think it's a good way to people will remember us, and that's more than just one object. It's about the brand, and it needs to represent who we are and all that. So I think it's a good way to doing marketing.
I'm glad you just said that. Like, it has to represent who you are. We run into it more than obviously you guys do, because we deal with swag all the time, where that's kind of why we started this podcast of Beyond the Swag, like beyond the actual item. Like, it needs to tell the people who we are.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody threw out a pen that's the same pen with just their logos on it, nobody's gonna know who to pick. They're gonna be like, okay, well, everybody has the same thing. What logo do I like the best?
Yeah. I saw a pencil with the it's a spinner on it. Did you see that? This one? It's a good one too.
I'll tell you what's super
addictive. Yeah,
super popular in home service.
I'm not surprised. My girlfriend like it a lot, so, and my kids too. So
yeah. One UD40 are like crazy popular right now. And I remember the first time I found them I saw them at a trade show. One that was local to me, and I just happened to, I was like, hey, let me check out, let me try to, network with some people. And I've never seen WD-40 pens before, and I walked up and I saw these, and I'm like, this is awesome. I was like, now I need to find them. And for the home service industry, for the trades industry, like they love them. Those and energy drinks, you can't go wrong with either of the two.
Mm-hmm. But if you use it, it's a good test, because it's like it's simple, because if you were hit, if there was no logo on it, that's a good test too, because we don't want to have cheap merch too. It's not good for the brand.
Yeah, it devalues your brand. Absolutely. Yeah. And we it's easy for us to say, and I want to hear kind of your opinion. This wasn't one of my planned questions for you, but the amount of impressions. Obviously, you just said it yourself. It can't be cheap merch, and we're not. I also know you're not also saying, hey, go out and buy $100 pens. Like, we're not saying everything has to be
too much
crazy
expensive.
top of the line expensive, but it has to be on brand and somewhat quality. I mean, hey, if you want to buy $100 pen, I'll be your guy. But yeah, right. A little executive, but I mean, it could be. I mean, we've sold pens, that are a full setup, and this sounds crazy. It was like a $60 pen, but it was a pen that was in a high end box that was laser engraved.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a gift for somebody to put, for signing important documents, and it was a gift for somebody. And, like someone did spend $60 essentially on a pen.
Very important contract.
Yeah, absolutely. But the level of impressions that people can get when brands go, because you're into digital, obviously, digital is very big on tracking impressions and tracking, click rates and all that kind of stuff. And people look at it and they're like, well, this branded jacket cost me $85. It's more expensive than, a PPC campaign that we have where our cost is, let's just say $1 per click or whatever the case may be. but we try to tell people, like, if that $85 jacket was worn 60 times over the course of 2 years, how many impressions that is.
Yeah.
And,
It's hard to
now it's like,
that.
hey, it's
Yeah.
really like, it's less than like $1. It's like 3 cents a campaign. Because you did something that people want to wear versus if you get a $12 jacket that somebody wears once, now it's, a $15, cost per impression. We're
Yeah, but
in digital.
yeah,
Digital,
digital
once you turn it off, it's gone.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to say. Expression it's they're gone. They come fast but they go quickly too. So they click maybe one time, two times, but after that you have nothing. If you have the merge, you can use it for 2, 3 years. I don't know, but you can have it for a long time. And I have this. I received this on an event. It's just a business of building. Building it's a construction business.
Yeah.
And, I have it on my desk, and
Absolutely. Just in case.
for a long time, but I have it, so it's just funny. But they are a prospect.
But it's a usable product, and like from a physical
that's interesting.
product versus a digital, right? When you're running a digital campaign, you're catching one person's attention at that time.
Yeah.
If you got a physical product and someone's wearing that, your shirt you're wearing right now out in the public, it's their impression, but it's also every other person's impression. When they go to the gym, and they put a picture of them on social media wearing your shirt, at a family barbecue, and they got 50,000 followers.
Yeah, I have some HubSpot shirt, and I wear it sometimes, and I generate some not sales yet, but I generate another HubSpot partner see me in their neighborhood, and he contact me on LinkedIn after, and he say, hey, did you go to this place because I saw you in HubSpot shirt, and I think it's you. Yeah, it's me. So, and I meet the guy after, and he is another partner of HubSpot partners in Quebec, but that's the reason we meet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If I want to get back to AI here, if AI is making it easier to generate emails, ads, landing pages, is differentiation becoming harder?
Because you say it will be the same for everybody. The landing page will be the same for everybody. Or,
I mean,
they use the AI and the text and the content will be the same. I'm not sure because good AI tools like HubSpot or others, you can put a lot of customization and instruction, and in HubSpot they name that a brain voice. You can send some content you already word and information about your brand. And if you use it and I use it, HubSpot will not generate the same content. So it will be, and more you create content with the tools, the content will. It's like ChatGPT or Gemini or other tools like that. They will take your tones and your style of writing, and they will not they have all the history of all the chat you had with the tools before. So they will not generate the same content for everybody. So I think it's a little bit dangerous because people can see if the text or the content is AI generated, and maybe you need to modify it a little bit just to add the personal touch.
Yeah.
To be
No M dashes and all that kind of stuff.
Remove the three points or the half space at the beginning and all that. But if you just change some words and and people can know, but they will know too. You take times to personalize the content.
Yeah, I always say I feel bad for like actual content and like copywriters because like there is a use for M dashes. None of us use them because we're not writers.
Yeah. But it's all I understand what you mean, but it's all about the prompt. It's not just to ask the AI to write an email and without any context, I think that your point of view is very, very important because it's the differentiator. It's the point of view you have. We don't have the same point of view for everything. So if you explain your point of view correctly to the AI, the content will be very different.
Yeah.
Very,
No, and we talked about it on another episode that hasn't aired yet, but Jason was saying the same thing. Like you have to personalize your AI to get the content, to get the responses. Just like you need to do a good job with the prompting. If you do shitty prompts, you're going to get shitty results.
Yeah.
Right? Trash in, trash out. But same thing with personalization.
Yeah, and you need to explain your point of view. I think it's this probably unique.
Yeah.
So that's
unless you're copying other people's personalities, and their exact prompts, then like you said, you're going to get different results. You're going to get different things. Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's still everything's kind of still getting pulled from the same world, but
but it will for
but it is very important to create that personalization and be detailed about it. I mean, I know for me, like the level and the depth of the personalization, I'll say database content, whatever you want to call it, is long. Like it is very long. It is, not just about me, but how I think, my viewpoints, the colors that I like, that if we're, generating presentations, like what my brand is about, who I'm trying to target, like all these different things are in this massive prompt that honestly I don't even ever read it.
Audio, your brand strategy, and it's not the same from the other, competitor and all that. So I think it's very important it's all about the context.
Yeah. So you're a big data guy, being in digital marketing. Data is huge. How should brands think about measuring ROI when it comes to merchandise? And I know you guys don't do merchandise a bunch, but it's one of the biggest questions that we always get. I like to ask digital marketers their opinion, their feedback here, because people are like, hey, we can track PPC, we can track the impressions, we can track all this stuff. How can I track a t-shirt? How can I track a pen? How can I track, and I say to them, okay, well, how do you track a billboard?
Maybe you can add a QR code on the merch.
Who's scanning or you said I was going to say, who's scanning a QR code driving 75 past the billboard?
Yeah.
But if you do that,
not the driver, but I hope so. Maybe, but some people can scan the QR code. I don't really have a good answer for that. I think it's very hard to measure that. But maybe if you send, gift to customers, you can measure the retention, the client retention, but it's not just about the merch, but I think it's one thing you can add to increase the retention and to say to your customer you care about them. Yeah.
No, that's a great, I put you on the spot knowing you probably didn't, I don't want to say you didn't have the answer. Most people,
I don't have.
Most people, there's a lot of people in my industry that do this that don't have that answer, that don't have the answer. But you gave one good example is, clients, and we can tie in employees to this as well. Creating quality stuff. Like there's so many different ways. I just posted about this on LinkedIn the other day. I think it might have been yesterday, 2 days ago. We consider there's 3 tiers of promotional products, right? We have our awareness, which is our wide bottom of the funnel, bottom of the period. We're trying to reach as many people as possible and make them aware of our brand and who we are. Then you have the relationship. That's really where the sales kind of happens in the relationship, where that's like, we brought them to us, now we need to make them trust us, and sell them. And then the very top one, the narrowest part, is the loyalty. And a lot of people jump right to the loyalty, but they didn't make themselves, like, nobody's aware of that. And they try to build this, or they didn't build the relationship. And you talked about, customers, and like I said, I'll tie in employees to this too. Making people feel cared about, sending personalized gifts around the holidays, thanking them, or, we send out occasional things to clients where we do one-off pieces that's specific to their company, and it's like, hey, here's a, hoodie or something, and it's unique and it's different. And you could do the same thing for employees that you're cared about. A friend of mine, she got a $5 or a number 5 shaped, geez, I can't speak, number 5 shaped wooden block for her 5-year anniversary of this company.
Wow.
That's not building culture anywhere. I got a wooden block that's shaped like the number 5 for my 5-year anniversary.
Number 5.
Like, there's so much that could have been done for that. Someone that stays with you for 5 years, they're loyal. I've seen people. I mean, we have a company we worked with, and we had this conversation. We built an anniversary program for them, and for someone that celebrates a 25-year anniversary, they send them on a 2-week paid vacation to Cancun.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's with you for 25 years deserves something that's not a block of wood that says the number 25. Like, that's loyalty. They gave their life to you, working for you for 25 years. I mean, no, seriously, like, working for somebody for 25 years?
Yeah.
Like, you
But I think
show that
one,
you care.
yeah, and another thing to measure that, if you give some stuff to your employees, it's if they wear it. So I think it's a good way to see if you choose the good merch too, because I have this sweater, but a lot of people don't wear it. So maybe it's not her style, so maybe it's just my style. So maybe I did an error about that. But you use this shirt just for a trade show and events, and today I have it because I agree to you.
Put it on. Yeah, well, and you're 100% right. Like, one of the biggest things is building the culture inside your company, making your employees proud to wear Parkour 3. Because if they're not proud to represent you, why would your clients be proud to work with you? If the same people, because people are smart, they can feel the vibe and stuff like that. And if you can get people, like, they're your brand ambassadors. Every employee that you have is a brand ambassador that is, they might not be a salesperson, but they're your SEO specialist, but they're wearing your shirt, and next thing you know, someone they have a conversation. They're like, "Hey, we're not sales, but you could talk to
I think
talk
it's
to Tracy."
And it's another gap. It's if you succeed when your customers, your client actually wear the hit. So I think it's another step. It will be more easy for maybe to convince employee to wear it. But when customer wear it, it's another. I think it's a success, a big success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to hit on the automation trap here, because obviously automation and AI are becoming this big thing that everybody's leaning on. As someone who deals with it more than I do, I make t-shirts. What's the biggest mistake companies make when they lean too heavily on automation?
People want to automate and they don't test it manually before. So they automate something, it's not working, so it's just not working more faster.
Yeah.
Because people want to automate everything, but it's not a good. You need to, probably not always, because some task is just impossible to do if you don't automate it. That's okay.
Yeah.
But some automation can take more time to do it manually. So if you can do it manually in 2 hours and you take 3 hours to automate it, maybe it's not the good. It needs to be a recurrent task, and you need to test it and to test results, because in digital world you can test and measure the results. If it's working, it's okay to automate it, but it's not working yet, you need to experiment, and after that you automate it. So some people are very passionate about automation and they want to automate too fast. So they need to test before.
Yeah, you start to forget the human and like lose the authenticity behind things. And the biggest thing I hate is like the robotic communication.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand that. And like you said, I think people try to really automate everything that they can, but like there's times and places, like I was seeing, I forget, I signed up for something. I filled out a form on somebody's ad. Their ad caught my attention, and next thing I get an automated text message, and I respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing I get an automated text message, and then another automated, and there was like 3 messages in a row. And I respond to it again, I'm like, you still didn't answer my question. And the next thing you know, I get another response, and I'm like, this, like, it was driving me nuts. Like, now I don't want to work with you. And I think that's something like, sometimes people automate too much. Hey, we can send a bunch of emails. We could send a bunch of text messages. Like, there's a sunglass company. I fill it out. And I get like 4 text messages from the sunglass company a day. Finally, today I was like, stop, unsubscribe. Like, you're pissing me off. I know you exist. Like, stop texting me in a bunch. And people are abusing it. It's becoming spam. It is. Like, I had one company, I put it on LinkedIn.
It's need to solve a real need first. I think it's important to understand that. And just because you can automate something, it doesn't mean you should. So automation without purpose often creates more no's and all that. So I don't think it's always a good idea to automate everything. So maybe in the end, good automation, it's more about doing. It's not about doing more. It's about doing the right things more efficiently and more faster. So.
And definitely, you need to test your automations. I had one company. I put it on LinkedIn. I put them on blast. I did. They sent me 17 emails at one time.
It's the same email?
Different emails.
Different email?
17 different emails, all sent at the same time.
But
Somebody's automation is broken. The whole sequence went at one time, and it was all in spam. And I'm like, no wonder why your email is in spam.
Yeah, we did some error like that in the past, but here I can test too. But it's they can do autonomous tests and all that. But it's complex, and it's easy to make error like that. It's you need to be careful because it's not easy. But the automation, it's all the people want to do that right now. I think it's normal too because we don't have a lot of resources and we need to automate, to increase and to be competitive in the market. So I think that's why all the people want to automate a lot of things.
Yeah.
Maybe too much things.
If you could look into the future in say 5-10 years, do you see physical marketing becoming more integrated into tech stacks and CRM triggers and fulfillment APIs?
Yeah, probably the merch will be somewhere somehow automated. Maybe with all the information they have about you, maybe they can send you some merch automatically with maybe we will see, but I will not be surprised if we receive some merch and they did it automatically with our profile and all the purchase we already did in the past. Probably I'm not in this market, but probably they will suggest you some tools to guys like you, business like yours, to generate, a merch, a specific merch for customers with all the conversation you had with them. Maybe I think. In 5 years.
Yeah, I know for us, a lot of what we're doing is a lot of programs, that are implementing it on an automated scale for the company, and that's where there's a lot of front end for us to set it up and work with the business, kind of as a creative agency type, setup. But we're creating these things, like, for example, an anniversary program where, I spend 2 weeks with you figuring out, okay, everybody's 1 year anniversary client gets this, everybody's 1 year customer anniversary, 1 year of them being with us gets this gift. And it's automated. And we create a system and we build a system around it. So now we connect in with your CRM or find ways to connect however it makes sense for the company that we're working with.
Yeah, that's interesting. I did not think about that, but to send, something to a customer after 1 or 5 years of business with them.
Building that loyalty and keeping them happy. And
I never talk about
and we set it up so that it's automated. So we connect, right? And you add that into your CRM. Hey, this person onboarded with us, April 1st. We get notified.
April 1st.
Yeah, well,
You
we
need
get
to be
notified.
careful with that.
But we would get notified, say whatever product that is selected for that, we'll make sure that we send the notifications out,
That's a
you
good
know,
idea.
in
Yeah.
enough time. So let's just say it's 2 months. We get notified 2 months in advance. Hey, KP Innovations is coming up on their 1 year anniversary with Parkour 3, and here's the product we need to go. Us on the promo side, we get it. We know exactly. We create all the designs of what the award is going to say or whatever the case may be, and we take care of it for you. And
Yeah.
now you don't have to do anything. We drop ship it as you, and
yeah.
it gets to your client for that event. And we
Yeah.
do the same thing for onboarding kids. You hire a new
Yeah,
employee.
it's like HubSpot. They sent a trophy to when we reach a new tier. I told you we were elite, but before that we
Yeah.
were diamond, and before that we were platinum. And they sent a trophy to our office and to have and it's just to congrats. And it's a real trophy. It's maybe we can do the same with customers too, just not just partners. It's a good idea.
Yeah, or and even little things too. It doesn't always have to be that extravagant, but your main contact for XYZ company for his birthday, he gets a postcard. And you create it to where maybe it's got your signature, or maybe it's got his account rep, and it comes from his account rep, and it's like, hey, like, we appreciate your business. We just wanted to wish you a happy birthday, and it's again automated. We work with, and that's where KP Innovations kind of I don't want to say stands out, is we work on these programs, but we do, like, not your typical vendor's not doing this, right? They're waiting for you to tell them something. We want to be proactive, where we're creating these programs for our clients.
That's reinforced the relationship. That's a powerful way to say thank you.
Yeah, and we handle it for you. Like, you don't have, the only thing you got to do as the business that works with us is set it up, and whether that takes us a month.
You know what? With HubSpot, we can generate we can create a workflow to send you an email automatically with all the information about the customers.
Let's do it.
We can
Let's do it.
We can automate that, but we don't need to automate it too faster.
Absolutely.
You need to test it manually before.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we make sure that things are, same thing with a new onboarding kit. Part of the onboarding sequence, maybe for a company, is a small little form that gets sent to us and says, hey, this person's a size large t-shirt, send them the kit. And we have the kit here in our warehouse, and it gets shipped directly to them for the company. And, on their first day, they got a box sitting on their desk. Is a quality. It's got a handwritten letter from the CEO, a nice quality notebook with their name on it, or their division on it, or the department, or whatever the case may be. And we work with businesses all the time where we handle it. Yeah, you got to help us set it up and figure out what you want to do. And then once it's set it up, it's not always set it and forget it. You might say, okay, I'm tired of using this 1 year anniversary trophy. Let's change it up. And then we just fix it, and we have it set in stone, and you easily turn off if a client doesn't work with you anymore. You turn it off. And we know not to send it to them anymore, because we're not getting that notification anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're no longer a client, or they're no longer an employee, or whatever. I want to end it on one last one, putting you on the spot again. If a brand wanted to integrate merchandise into their we kind of just talked about this, but into their sales and marketing systems tomorrow, where would you tell them to start?
To start with the merch or their marketing and sales?
If they were to integrate merchandise into their sales and marketing systems, stuff they already do with you, in their digital, where would you tell them to start? If you had clients right now, obviously, that are doing digital, and they wanted to add merchandise, they wanted to add merch on top of that physical touch point, where would you tell your clients to start with that process?
That's a good one, because I'm not very an expert of merch, but I think the most important is if they correctly understand what is the brand. They have they need to start with the brand book, something like that, just to be sure they understand the value of the brand, the tones and all that. And after that, we can have suggestions like expert like you to to see how we can integrate merch in the
Yeah.
marketing strategy and
Oh, we
sales
love
strategy too.
clients that come to us with brand books. I love it.
Yeah, that's I think
We kind of
on
make
our
it a
side,
priority.
yeah,
We make
on
it a
our
priority.
side,
If someone comes to
it's
us,
the same thing because we need to understand the brand correctly and not how the customer have a brand book, but sometimes we can help to build that too. So
yeah, we kind of make it, and it might not be to the extent of a lot of brands that will do. But if someone comes to us without a brand book, without a brand guide, like it's a priority for us
yeah,
because we
the
need
brand,
to know,
yeah,
and it
maybe
creates
they,
that consistency,
yeah,
right?
maybe
Like the
they
stuff
don't
that
have
we
a
make.
yeah, maybe they don't have a brand book, but they need a brand guide. That's sure. That's sure.
Yeah,
It's a minimum brand guide. They
yeah,
the majority of the business they have.
and it's important because we don't work for their company. You don't work for their company. We work for them or with them,
Yeah,
right? We consider we work
we
with
need
you
to
versus
work together.
working
Yeah,
for you. And so now they create their brand guide with you or by themselves, and they come to you. You know their brand. You understand their brand. Now you give it to me. I understand their brand. My stuff matching to an extent with what you're doing for them, and now we're working as one versus, we have this one shade of red, and all your digitals is this shade of red, and the brand just is like it looks all over the place. Yeah, we love people that come to us with brand books, and for us, we make sure of it. Our first conversation is not what product do you want. It's a list of questions that we want to understand your brand, your objective, who this is
yeah,
for, your target, the audience, and saying it's for our customers is not the right answer.
yeah. And I think a brand it's how people can perceive you when you're not there. It's very important. The merch, I think, it's very important. It's in this context, and it needs to
Yeah.
take.
I think the big thing as people grow and as 2026 continues in AI and automation is automation scales communication, merch scales memory.
Okay.
Because people love that physical touch point.
But if you
The
don't,
digital is to bring them in, the merch
that's
is
yeah,
keep them.
that's sure. But that's why it's very important to understand the brand because if you don't do the good merch, you will not have the good memory of this brand.
Yeah, you won't have a good
So
memory. Absolutely. Nope.
yeah,
Absolutely. Well, Matthew, I appreciate your time today. I appreciate you hopping on and giving us a little bit more insight about automation and AI. And I
thank
want to
you,
just thank you again for coming on the show and taking some time out of your busy day.
thank you a lot for your time too. It's a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
That wraps up this episode of Beyond the Swag, Merch is Media. If this conversation made you think differently about how your brand shows up, that's the point. Because merch isn't just a product, it's a message and it's media. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who should hear it. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Kevin Patrick, and I'll see you on the next episode of Beyond the Swag.